Hello. Hello. Can you able to hear my voice? Everyone?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah. Hi, guys. Sorry for the delay. Sorry for the delay. I was trying to connect, but due to some connection issues, couldn't able to get it. Yeah, guys. So good morning, all. Hi, welcome to Durga Soft Training. How are you feeling, everyone?
Yeah, very nice, sir.
Yes. So today we will just have a very basic introduction on what is what. I'll say about myself, and you please introduce about yourself so that we'll get a very clear idea of what we are actually trying to approach. Let me explain about myself. So I'm Nikhil Raj. I possess around 8+ years of experience in IT overall. So I did work for a couple of companies as on multiple roles. I work for Wipro. I work for Capgemini. I work for byAnjireddy and also for the product-based company Excel. I'm working right now, so it's a very huge company. So I I did work for multiple roles as a project engineer, as a associate consultant, as a senior consultant, and now I'm a lead architect on automation and manual testing. Yeah, this is very brief about myself. So just can you please introduce yourself, people who are there over here? Can you please introduce yourself before I take it as a class kind of thing? This today it would be like an introductory session. So on what we are going to discuss and what is the process. Okay, what is the process of the seminar, so that I'll get a clear idea of what is actually the audience or. Can you please start? Anyone can take the lead here. Yeah, guys. Anyone can take the lead. Just basically explain about yourself. I just want to know.
Yeah,
So what are
hi,
you
this
doing? Yeah.
is Supraja.
Yes.
So I have over 9 years of experience. So out of
Okay.
that, around 4 years of experience in Selenium automation.
Oh,
And
great.
along with that, I have idea about little on DevOps side as well.
So can I know what is the reason you're taking up this course?
So I would like to learn the Python.
Okay. So you have experience on Java.
Yes.
Is that?
Yes.
Okay. You want to learn Python. You want to switch to Python.
Yes.
Great. Yeah. So yeah, please the next one. Yeah. Next please.
Hi,
Yeah. Hi. Ganesh.
I'm from Pune. I have 5.5 years of experience in manual functional testing. As well as I had to last from 1 year I had to work under the Selenium. So I want to jump into the Python because the most of people are currently doing the Selenium. So in that I want to do something different than Java Selenium. So I want to continue my career with Python because upcoming days the Python is a booming market.
Great. So can I know other people? Yeah. Anyone can take up. Yeah. Anyone else? Anyone else is speaking now? Madhukar, Naresh. Please speak out, right? Satish, Sai Sharanya, Priya. So, can anyone take up lead? Can speak? Is there anyone speaking?
Hi sir, my name is Naresh Verma.
Yeah, hi.
So actually, completely I'm a different background of myself. Actually, I'm a lecturer.
Okay.
So due to COVID, I want to enter into software field. So that is why I did a small research about the software. And one of my cousin who told me, suggested me, the testing is one of better tool to a way to enter into the software. So that is why I chosen Selenium, the tool Python. I don't know how it is helpful for me. Because it is also nothing but still I'm doing the I'm feeling it is a research. Still
Yes,
I'm
yes.
searching.
I'll let you know what is the usage of it. And thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah, thank you. Next one. If you can't speak, you can just message me out, so that I just want to know everyone in this class, what is their strength, what is their introduction and all, so that we'll have a
Hi,
clear
can you
idea of
hear
what
me?
we're doing. Yeah, someone speaking? Satish, Sai Sharanya and Priya. This three people are remaining, I guess so. Anyone speak out from this? No, oh, you're Madhukar. Okay, student in USA. Right. No, I don't know whether you're muted or not. I'm not able to. Okay, great. I want to learn Python. That's fine. That's great. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Madhukar. Sure, Madhukar. Yeah. Yeah, Naresh.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Did you speak out?
Just I told sir myself. Myself is Naresh Verma.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
Very new to the software.
So no programming experience before. Please help me. Yeah.
Yeah, even
Yeah.
I don't know the language also.
Okay. No worries. Just want to know what is your introduction. Yeah. What about Priya and you know Sai Saranya? You can just message if you can't speak. Just message. Please be active on this thing. I would explain the whole process after this. I will get to know what is what. What is your introduction and all. Satish, I understood Satish.
Hi, this is Priya. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hi.
I'm
Yeah, Priya, I can.
having around 5 years of experience in IT.
Yeah.
That is completely into functional as well as web services and RPA. I don't have any
Okay.
experience in with automation means with Python or with Java. So that
Yes.
I wanted to take this as an option.
Great. Yeah. Any other? Yeah. So nice. Yeah.
I'm Sharanya.
Yeah. Sharanya.
I'm Sharanya actually. I
Hmm.
have experience on embedded systems.
Hmm.
I worked in automotive domain for 1 year. As per my
Okay.
interest in Python, so I have knowledge on automotive domain how we will do testing. So that's why I have taken this one, Python with Selenium, to learn.
Okay. Okay. Great. Yeah. Yeah. So I hope everyone is done, right? Everyone is done. Yeah. Great to know you guys. So it's a really great to know all your thing, your introduction. So I did feel that out of hearing your experiences and your introduction, I feel that there are quite some people who are in this group, they have experience in a very good at automation and manual side, and some people are very basic, they don't have any experience even Python or into automation or manual side. So I just want to make you this point very clear. So I'm going to teach, let me explain the syllabus first, and I'll go with a very basic introduction of what we are actually going to see, which is a very broad and very clear syllabus what we have here, which is more than enough for almost 6 to 8 years of experience. Okay, only for automation testing in Python. You can claim that way of experience, almost 4 to 5 years of experience in particular to automation testing in Python. So that is the syllabus level that we have prepared. By the time when I explain the syllabus, people who are already in the group, who has quite long years of experience, they could clearly understand what is our syllabus, what is the approach we are making up, and what is the depth of the syllabus that we have. We're going to see every point of the syllabus very clearly in the coming days. Hope everyone understood. So let me explain the syllabus first. According to that, I'll have a very basic introduction of what we are going to see in the coming days. Okay, see, the syllabus is something like the Selenium with Python. So we are going to see from the scratch of Python. Okay, from the scratch of Python, how to install Python, how to this is something that is an extra addition to the technology what we are actually seeing. So we are going to see Selenium with Python, but I want you to have a very basic understanding and a very crisp understanding of what is Python and the concepts of Python. So we are going to see core concepts of Python in a very overview manner. So we'll be seeing introduction, variables, keywords, literals, all the data types, okay, conditional statements, loops, functions, object-oriented programming, file handling, and exception handling. So these are the topics we will see in Python, so that people who are very basic into the introduction of Python, or who don't have any exposure to Python, they will really get to know a quite good understanding of what Python is and how to write the Python coding. So this is for those people who doesn't have any experience on coding or any knowledge on coding, so from the scratch. And people who already have experience or good knowledge on Python, they would get a revise, or they can get a complete overview or complete revision of what they have already learned. So this will be satisfying to people. Coming to Selenium concepts, I'm going to explain you what are the concepts we are going to see. People who already has experience, they would easily get to know what is our syllabus. Okay, what is this? So I'll explain you what is Selenium with Python. Selenium is a group of testing tools. It's a suite, we say. It's a suite of testing tools which can have capability to automate only the web-based applications. What is it? Web-based application. We are going to automate only the web-based applications. That is what the Selenium has capability. So it cannot automate the desktop-based applications. It cannot automate any other hybrid kind of application. So the focus on us will be automating how to automate a complete end-to-end application using Selenium. Okay, Selenium is it's a suite. It's a suite means it's a group of testing tools, out of which one testing tool we are going to focus here, called Selenium WebDriver. Okay, that is our target to work on next coming days. So here I'm going to explain you very basic how to install Selenium, how to install PyCharm. PyCharm is nothing but it's an IDE. IDE is Integrated Development Environment. What is that IDE means? IDE is a place where you write your code and you execute your code. So that's why that environment you call it as IDE. Okay, so PyCharm is one environment which is we are going to see, and normally in almost every companies, okay, no matter it's a product based or a service based company, even in companies they prefer PyCharm because PyCharm is open source. Okay, so that is the reason people try to use PyCharm even in companies as well. Okay, so configuring Python, writing the test cases, there are locators. We'll be also seeing the locators, weights, drop down, drag and drop, handling pop-ups, window handling in Python, frame handlings, cookies, handling mouse actions, scroll web pages, capturing screenshots, reading, writing, Excel, logging. These are very, very important as part of Selenium core concepts. Okay, so by this time you will get to know how to automate and complete application, but you may not know the structure, how to automate it. Okay, you will understand in a broader way what is actually an application, how to automate, how to get the locators, how to do actions, how to perform, how to type something, how to click something, how to drag and drop, how to drop down, how to handle the drop down activities, how to do the alerts. So there are multiple things as part of web page. How to do each and everything as part of web page, you will get to know. Then we'll enter into the framework. See, the process is Python core and then Selenium concepts, making sure you're very clear with all the automation aspects of web page. Okay, because web application automation we are doing. So by this time you'll get to know how to automate anything in web page. So here you will get the structure. So you will get the structure how to automate multiple test cases. Okay, so here we are going to see in Python when it is called a framework. Framework is nothing but it's the design pattern. Okay, it's nothing but I'll give you example. Framework will give you some inbuilt methods, some methodologies. By using that, you can able to run your test cases in an easy way. In Python, I'm especially saying, but normally framework is like a design that has been provided to you on top of your programming language, which makes you uh, ease the process, okay, of anything. If you are using a automation frame, development framework like Spring Hibernate in Java, or else in Python Django. So you have some of the liabilities, some of the inbuilt functionalities, inbuilt features that the framework already provides you. That is called framework basically. So in Python, especially when you say framework, we have peculiarly some other frameworks which comes into picture. It is not like Java again. Java has some other framework approaches, but in Python we have some different framework approaches. Some of them are very similar to Java as well. Don't compare anything with Java and Python. Again, Python is something different. It's easy and it's more advanced compared to Java. So in Python you have unit test framework, which is very, very important framework used in companies. Page object model approach, it's a design pattern. How do we create our pages, create the methods, locators. People who already have experience, they'll get to know, but still I'll explain you from the scratch when we are into the picture. Okay, then we'll also have BDD framework. BDD framework is a very, very important framework. Cucumber BDD, we say Cucumber language we write. BDD is behavior driven development, out of which we'll see how do we write the feature files, step definition file, running files. So this is a very, very important framework, and it's very much used in the real world as part of Python. So people who already have experience, they will get to know what is this BDD and all. So data driven approach, so how to read the data from different sources, maybe Excel, maybe different other source. So we will also see the approach of seeing the data driven. So PyTest framework is like very, very important. People who already knows uh, test engine in Java, so we can relate the test engine to call PyTest in Java, Python. People who already has JUnit of understanding in Java, they can able to relate unit test framework in Python. That is what we say, but they're completely different. There is a little comparison that is made. Okay, don't worry guys, I'll explain everything. Maybe you may understand, you may not understand the syllabus, but the reason I'm explaining you is that we are going to see end to end. That is what the process. So PyTest framework is very, very important. We'll also see the third-party reporting tools, how to integrate with different other third-party tools. Then after that, we'll see end-to-end project. So see guys, we'll try to see end-to-end project. How do we create a page class? Suppose you're integrating an application uh, with reporting, with PyTest, with unit tests. There are multiple frameworks. So how do we create a complete end-to-end framework? So this will really cover you experience to 4 years max. Again saying in Python with Selenium especially, you can claim of experience by completing all this syllabus, you can claim up to maximum 5 years or 4 years, you can say. 4 years to the maximum you can able to claim, because the standard that we are seeing is more very deeper level. So we will see end-to-end framework complete approach. Then we'll have a very basic, understanding on something called Git and Jenkins, which is which are CI/CD task and repository, where we store version control and CI/CD task. We'll get to know how to maintain our code repository, how do we build our code in Jenkins. So we'll have a very basic understanding how exactly the Git and Jenkins works in real time. Okay, how the deployment happens, how the process of getting the results and all that. People who already have experience, they'll get to know, but we'll have a clear idea of what is Git and Jenkins. After that, we'll have something called real-time project with Selenium WebDriver. We'll see a complete end-to-end real-time project with Selenium WebDriver. Okay, then people who already have experience in API, because see, in companies nowadays, people are also expecting, along with the web testing, or you can say UI testing, they're also expecting API testing, web services testing. So API testing is also important. So again, an add-on. So Python is an add-on. On top of it, API testing is an add-on, which is not part of our syllabus. Our syllabus is Python with Selenium. So we are adding something more on that. We'll also see very basic REST API understanding. Maybe basic of Postman we'll see, and also we'll see automation, like getting the responses, validating the responses. Okay, working on HTTP methods, working on variables collections. Okay, validating the status code. So what we do in real time. Okay, what we do for API testing in real time. Yeah, so I am done with my syllabus. Any doubts or any questions from your end? This is a very, very quality syllabus. If people who have experience of 5 or 10 years, they'll get to know what is our syllabus is and what is the approach we are making, what is the standard that this syllabus is having, and we'll see every point of this. We'll see every point of this. So you can claim up to 4 years of experience by completing all the syllabus. And I want everyone, I'll be providing you on day-wise activities, day-wise homework kind of stuff, day-wise files. I want everyone to have a very clear look on the complete end-to-end information, and you have to get back to me with the some of the results. So that would be the process that we go on. Already we have completed a couple of batches. So yeah, this is a complete end-to-end syllabus. So people who has experience, they'll get to know more clear able on the syllabus part. Okay, but yeah, any doubts, please speak out. Any doubts, everyone? Any doubts? So it is helpful for people who are fresher, as well as it is helpful for people who are experienced. So who are fresher, it will be helpful that they can get a complete end-to-end knowledge on the system. Okay, with no experience, they can easily get a crack a job, and other people who has experience, they would get an add-on to the knowledge. Yeah, can you please speak out, anyone, about the syllabus? Any doubts, any questions, or anything that you want me to tell on?
Sir, what is duration of the course?
Duration of the course would be, we have holidays. Durga Soft has holidays on Saturdays and Sundays. That is what our syllabus. So the duration of the course will lay for 30 to 35 days of working days. I hope you understand. 30 to 35 working days we have. If
Yes,
something
sir.
is, yeah, it is 1.5 month.
Okay, maximum by 31st of December we can.
Yes.
Okay.
Not before that we can complete. And parallelly you can try out in the you can try for the jobs as well. You can apply for the jobs. I'll explain you how to do that. And yeah, I'll explain you the resume preparation. I'll also share you the references if I have any. I'll share you all the references that I have, and yeah, I'll be helping you how to crack the interviews.
We'll share you the resume, sample resumes.
Yes, yes, yes. I will share. I'll prepare. In fact, I'll prepare it in front of everyone. How to create a complete end-to-end resume for quite some years of experience.
Daily 1 hour you
Okay.
take.
Any
Or
doubts?
2 hours?
Daily 1 to 1 hour 15 minutes. That is what the time that is allocated
Okay, sir.
from the team.
So
1 hour to
will
1 hour 15 minutes. Sorry.
so will you provide any support, like if we are doing any practice? So if at all any help is required, will you be available?
We'll create a WhatsApp group as soon as this batch is confirmed. So every updates will be provided there. If you have any doubts, you can ping me there itself, and you can ask me anytime.
Oh, okay.
I hope you understood.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Any doubts?
The, only BDD framework you are going to explain. Sir, in Selenium.
So BDD, behavior driven development. It is a framework which is basically approach in order to automate an application. So we will have a different process there. We'll create feature files where we'll write our steps of exactly how to automate a scenario or maybe a feature, and we'll have a step definition files where we will pick up this feature files over there, and then we'll try to write an implementation for every step that we write in your feature file. So we'll also have a test runner, behave, which can run the complete steps how to run it. So you will clearly understand once we are into the picture. Okay, you will clearly understand once we are into the picture. Once we are seeing the approach, how exactly the BDD works and all. So have you got any experience? Anyone got any experience on BDD or any of these frameworks? Maybe data driven. So we don't have keyword. We don't focus much on keyword and all. We'll focus much on PyTest, unit test. Okay. This is what the market standards, not me and you. The complete company. You can go and verify anywhere, and we are the what do you say? We are the more experienced people in the market, and we are the only people who are taking up this Selenium with Python course over here. Okay, I hope you got it right.
So is there any hybrid framework is there?
Yeah, hybrid that will be taken up in the end-to-end project. We'll be discussing hybrid framework over there. In the end-to-end project, we'll be discussing hybrid framework approach.
Yeah, got it.
So yeah, so let me take up an introduction to Python, especially or yeah, you have to tell me now what you want me to take. You want me to take an introduction to the Selenium or Python or things? See, how many freshers are there still here in this group? How many freshers who don't have any experience? Who don't have any experience? You can message me.
Naresh, sir. I don't have
Yeah.
any experience.
Okay. Naresh, you don't have any experience.
Yeah.
Rest all you have experience, right? Rest Ganesh, Priya, Sharanya, Satish, Supriya, Supraja. I hope everyone have experience. Okay. No worries, no worries. I don't have experience in software testing. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, no worries, no worries. So we will explain everything from the scratch. There is a reason we are going to see something called Python. Okay. So yeah, no worries, Sharanya. You have experience on automotive domain that will, I mean, this would compulsory help you out in your, automating some of the applications, web applications. Okay, you can integrate them. You can integrate Raspberry Pi, and if you have experience on that, so you can write the same code out. Yeah, so let me just go and explain you on the process. So we'll also have a very basic understanding and a clear, crisp understanding on the agile methodology. Got it right? On the agile, we will have a clear understanding. So how exactly the process happens in real time. Okay. So I work on agile methodology. So I would explain you how the project of mine as well works out. Okay, so that you'll have a clear understanding. Yeah. So let me just start with the very basic introduction. Okay, I'll explain introduction to Selenium. I'll have experience. I'll explain introduction to Selenium and Python as well. Okay, so separately will. So people who have no knowledge on Python. So Python, the reason we choose Python. First thing, Python is a scripting language. Python is a programming and scripting language. So it is both programming as well as scripting language. The reason it is called a scripting language because it doesn't have any compilation. So normally when you see Java or C or C++, if I want to run a program on these three languages, the first thing that I have to do is to compile the code. See, I say Java C, then file.java, something like this, before I execute it. Once I save the file, then I say Java and then file name. This is what I do normally. But whereas in Python and all the scripting languages, you don't need to compile the file. No compilation is required. No compiler is required, or no compilation is required. What do you mean by compilation? Means it doesn't need separate step to check for the errors in that code. So in the execution time only, it will try to find the errors. So it has no compilation, it has direct execution. So you don't write a extra step in Python, okay, like a compilation like this, right? Compilation, what happens after you compile, you'll get a message, right? You'll get the output saying that how many errors are there, where is the if there is any warning message, you will get a complete output where your system has gone wrong, your code has gone wrong. So then you will execute the file once you feel that there is no errors. But in Python, as it is a scripting language, or it is scripting understanding, you don't have any compilation. You have to write only one step. Instead of writing a second step over here, you will write one step that will execute the file. So that step is like Python. That is write Python file name dot py. Py is extension of Python. So this step is called like, this step is enough to execute the code. So there is no compilation in Python. So there is no compilation in Python. That's why you say it is a scripting language, okay, which can get the attributes of the script. So there are a lot of scripting languages, like JavaScript is a scripting, Ruby and Rails is a scripting language, Perl is a scripting language, Python is a scripting language, okay, VB script, okay, VB script, PHP, all these are scripting. See, all these people who knows this language, they'll get to know how they can be executed without any comparison. But whereas Java, C, C++, okay, you have to compile it before you execute it. This is what the difference between this language. So Python is one of them. And Python is one thing. Python is a dynamic type language. Dynamic type language. What do you say? Dynamic type language. If you want to create any variable in Java or C or C++, you say int a equal to 10 or something like this. The reason why you say this one, because you have to predefine a data type before any variable that is being declared. That is what the syntax of any programming language, especially C, C++, Java. But whereas Python or any scripting languages which we have discussed before doesn't need to create any pre-definition or predefined data type. You can directly say a equal to 10, okay, and b equal to 20.2, which is a float variable. Normally when you want to write, you need to say float b equal to 20.2, but whereas you can directly say b equal to 20.2. You don't need to say any int, float, Okay, you don't need to say string, nothing like this. Okay, is it a lot of disturbance from my backend? Are you getting any disturbance from my end? Are you getting disturbance, everyone? Any disturbance from backend?
Yeah, that's okay. There is a dog is barking.
Oh, okay, okay. Sorry. That we can't control. Sorry. Yeah. So this is what actually the process is. In Python, you don't define any data type before any variable declaration. Okay, you don't define any data type before any variable declaration. So that is what Python differs compared to other languages. So that's why you call it dynamic type of language. And C++ and all languages are called static type of language because they have to define a data type before a variable that is declared. So this is where Python makes a difference with other languages. Okay, and Python is open source, which already knows. Python is open source. Okay, and portable. What do you mean by portable? Portable means Python can be written in any types of OS. It can be a Linux, it can be a Unix flavors, it can be Windows, okay, it can be Mac, it can be any other integration like Solaris and all. You can write Python code, okay, in any other operating systems. And other thing is like open source, it is free, you don't need to pay any amount, just go and download it internet, okay, and can able to see the source code of everything, the packages that we do when we download the system. So that is why Python is more preferred in companies. Okay, second thing, Python is very easy. Python is very simple, or you can say it's a beginner language. People who wants to start any of their process, they can start with Python, and Python is more advanced compared to anyone in the implementation part. So it is simple and it can do big things. That's why people prefer Python. So anyone wants to be in a free mode, right? Everyone wants something that is simple and that can do big things. So the right choice for them is Python. So Python is a simple language which everyone and anyone can able to code. Okay, and the other way around, it can do big things. It can operate big things. So that's why Python is chosen by every company. So almost now companies are migrating from Java to Python. Okay, so Python, one more big advantage of Python is Python is both object oriented and procedure oriented. So what do you mean by this is when you see C language, you don't write anything called objects, class, and all the stuff. You don't need to do all these things because C language is completely yeah, I'll explain. C language is completely procedure oriented language. What do you mean by procedure oriented language? Procedure oriented language doesn't have any representation of class, object, and all. You have to create from the main method, every step is executed one by one. So that is a procedure way you try to execute the project or a program. But whereas object oriented language, you have a concept of class, objects, methods, and all these things. Okay, so you can write a program in Python in both the ways. That's up to your own passion, what you want to create. Python supports both object oriented and procedure oriented. So Python can be considered as a combination, or it is both object oriented and procedure oriented. That is the greatness of Python compared to others. Java is a complete project object oriented language. Okay, C is complete procedure oriented language, whereas Python can be both. You can use it in both ways and in a very simple language. In Python, you don't require to maintain a clear process of syntax compared to other languages. Suppose C, I'll give you example. When I say int a equal to 10, which is a variable that I created in Java or Python or C, I have to create like this and with a semicolon. In Python, semicolon is not mandatory. If you keep also there is no worries. If you don't keep, also no worries. So what I mean to say in exact way, Python makes you ease in comfort in writing the code, in writing your code. That is what I mean to say. Okay. So this is a very basic introduction of Python. So Python, why we choose Python? What is a Python language? Python is a language that is scripted, that doesn't compile code. Python is a dynamic type of language. You don't need to create any or declare any data type prior to your variables. Python is open source. It's a portable language. 1 minute. Python is both object oriented and procedure oriented. Okay. So this is a very basic idea of what Python, and let's see actually what is we are going to see. So why is Selenium we are using Python? Selenium Python. So what is Selenium here? Selenium is actually, it's a suite. It's a suite which is a group of testing tools which are basically used to automate an application. Suppose our targets in companies, how it will be, I'll explain. In companies, what happens? You may be working on different domains. You may be working on either a banking domain or a insurance domain or a healthcare domain or any other domain like finance, e-commerce or anything. So now a lot of applications which are launching in market are web applications rather than desktop. They're web applications. What are web applications? The application that can be launched in web. I'll give you example of very major web application and desktop application. See, suppose I want to automate sorry an application like Facebook. You see Facebook, you can just go through Google and then type www.facebook.com. You can able to launch the Facebook. So that is nothing but a application which is web application. So coming to the desktop application, I'll explain you. Suppose there is VLC media player. You cannot download it or you cannot able to launch it in the web. You have to download it and you can use it in their local system like VLC media player or any other media players where you run your media files. Got it right? So these are called desktop applications. They cannot be launched in the website or web. They are called desktop applications. So in Python, what I mean to say, in Selenium, we cannot automate desktop application. Selenium doesn't have capability to automate any desktop application. Selenium can able to automate only the web-based application. Almost if you see 100% of applications in the market, around 90% of the applications are web-based applications. Whichever the company they want to release any application, they will be web-based application. So the quantity, or you can see our web-based application has a huge demand in the market compared to any other application. So Selenium has been more preferred programming, or you can say automation tool. You can say it is a testing tool. So the other one I want to say you why we prefer Selenium compared to other languages. Someone asked me a question. Java is a very popular tool. With Java, Selenium is a very popular tool which was existing in the market. But there are some drawbacks in the market in Java. Okay, there are some drawbacks which Python can able to acquire it. Okay, there are some drawbacks. What are the drawbacks? Is the coding, Java coding is very typical compared to Python. Python is a very simple language and Java coding is very typical, very hard compared to Python. Python is a very simple language. That is one point. Second step is Java has a very little liability to integrate with other processes when compared to Python. But Java can also do that. I'll give you example. Any third-party tools or any other integrations, Java has very little liabilities. But whereas Python, as it is a scripting language, you can easily try to integrate with other applications or other third-party tools. So Python has that capability which can take over Java, and it is helpful for both a fresher and experienced person. The reason I'm saying A fresher who doesn't have experience on anything, they can just get to know, understand how this process works out. So what I mean to say here is, they will get to know about the basics of Python. They'll get to know about the basics of Python and completely end to end how we are working. People who has already known with Python, they can easily work on. Who already knows Java, they can compare how Python really makes a difference with Java. Okay. So why I'm comparing Java? Because Java is very popular Selenium tool that is existing with Java, but Python is now arising. So you can see 100% in the market now, still around 50% is covered with Java, and then 35% now is emerging with Python, and less other languages like C Sharp, Ruby, and Rails, Perl is covered like other 15%. Okay, got it right? So still 50% is in Java, but the reason people going with Python is that they don't want to code much. They want to make themselves relaxed. They want to do the same implementation. Okay, and now that is the reason Python is emerging. Okay, what you can say, the companies are migrating. The reason, because it is simple, can be integrated. Okay, it can be integrated, it is simple, and the other way around, it has multiple usage compared to Java. So that is the reason people are migrating to Python, which is a very popular tool nowadays. It's emerging like huge. Almost every company is now looking with Java, with Python. Okay, if you want, you can you can go and search in internet in Naukri. Just go and search in Naukri. You can able to get what is the difference or how many job openings are there in Python with Selenium. There are hundreds of job openings. Naukri is not mine, right? Just go and verify it in internet. There are hundreds of job openings in Python with Selenium. So that is a great, that is the importance, or that is implementation, or you can say that is the what do you say, that is the demand of Python with Selenium in the market. You see hundreds of jobs every day, you get hundreds of jobs in market. Okay, so that is the reason people try to choose Python over Java. Yeah, you can please tell me any doubts. So today the class is actually made to give a very basic introduction, not on the Selenium with Python, just on you and us, so that I have already explained the syllabus copy, which is a very standard syllabus. We are going to see everything from the scratch. I hope you're getting right. We are going to see everything from the scratch. From a very basic sense, we are going to see how exactly the process happens. Okay. Yeah. Any doubts? Any doubts? Any doubts as of now? Can you please speak out, anyone?
No, this should be good.
Okay. So you have seen the syllabus, right? You have seen the syllabus. So this is a more standard syllabus compared to others. Okay, this is a more standard syllabus. I can show you that. The syllabus is very crisp, very. You can just verify it out. I mean, you can just go through the syllabus, which is a very standard syllabus. Okay, where we are discussing Python, we are discussing the Selenium concepts, discussing the frameworks, almost every framework in Python. Okay, we are not leaving up. We are discussing end-to-end project, Git, Jenkins, API testing, integrations, interview questions. Okay, and agile process. Everything we are going to see. Yeah, people who are working, they'll get to know more clear about what I said. Who don't know, they can easily relate it once we are into the picture. Right?
So, is there any live projects?
Yeah, I have explained. Yeah, there will be real time. No live project. Live project is something that is live to my company.
That is
So I can show you some project that can be considered as a real time project. See, because we don't know, right? Yeah, in companies, what project they'll be working on. You may be working on different domains with different companies, so that I cannot guess out. So I'll give you a project which can really help you out in understanding the exposure of real time and all. So we'll be discussing. By that time, we'll get to know exactly how to do, what is the project and how it flows and everything. Yeah.
Actually, when you compare
So
with Udemy, there is a vast syllabus actually. When I think in the Udemy
sorry.
there is a very less syllabus.
That's what I said. So you don't depend on Udemy or the other course, because see, that is something that they have created for some purpose, maybe for the beginners, but this is for something that you will be having a live coding experience and understanding. I hope you're getting right. So where you can interact with us on day wise, you'll get some code copies and all. Okay. So so I don't want to discuss much on the introduction perspective. What I mean to say, as I said you, why the reason, because so here it was very clear. We are very clear with the syllabus what we are going to discuss. We have a very clear approach what we are going to see in the coming days. So I would explain you point to point as we progress on. As we progress on, you will get to know a lot of things. Okay, you'll get to know the end-to-end picture what we are going to see. So the reason I have shown you the syllabus, which is very standard syllabus compared to other existing process, is that it is very quality syllabus compared to anything in the market. Okay, and we are going to see the whole syllabus out. We are going to see the whole syllabus out within the 35 days, 35 working days to the maximum. Okay, which can be 1.5 months to exit. So you want me to explain about testing, the concepts of testing, how we do it, how the companies take up it and all. I'll give you a very basic flow of automation code. Okay, you will get to know how exactly an automation or how a project turns out. See, you may not get to know. Suppose I'll give you example. This is a small web page. Think that this is a very small web page. I want to automate this. In Python, if you want to automate, not just in Python, in Selenium, if you want to automate any application, the first thing is like you need to get the locator. You need to understand the place where you want to automate. Suppose I want to type some username here and password here. Okay, I want to type some username and then phone number over here. So I want to type something over here. The first thing I have to know is like I need to go and approach that location. That location I need to know. So what I do is like I'll press F12 to inspect the element. Okay, which can give you the complete coding, backend coding of this web page. So I'll go to my highlighter. I'll just put the highlighter over here. See, I'll put the highlighter over here. I'll get some of the information about the text box. You can see when I just highlight over here. Okay, this will give me a clear understanding of my text box. This box coding is this one. In Python or in Selenium, there are some locators like ID. There are 8 locators. You can able to identify a location using this ID locators. Okay, I'll just show you what is this. Suppose I want to get that locator. I want to get this locator. I have to write the XPath of it. Okay, the XPath tag is, you may not understand this, but people who has idea, they'll get to know. See, when I'm just pressing on it, it is trying to highlight the position, right? When I'm writing some code, I mean some XPath, I'm trying to highlight this. This is highlighting that location. That means this is the code I have written, or this is the XPath locator I have captured in order to locate this element. So like that, what you need to do, you have to locate every element and then you have to write the code. What I'm doing, I'm launching my browser, I'm maximizing my window, I'm finding that location, I'm passing some phone number, I'm name here, I'm again finding the location of this phone number. Okay, I'm trying to pass some value over here, and I'm trying to close the browser. So the process is such a way you have to go to each and every location, get that locator, and then whatever you want to type here, you have to type that. Okay, using send keys. Can you able to see right here? Dot send keys is nothing but it is going to type something. Okay, it is going to type something, and then dot send keys, it is going to type the phone number. So this is what it is happening. First thing is like you need to find that element. You have to find the element. Got it right? You have to find the location. See that element ID equal to name. That is what I have written here in the code. You see, find element by ID. ID nothing but name. That means what it is going to do, it is going to locate this position. So on this position, what I am doing, I'm writing some code, right? Riaz. Okay, I'm writing. This is what this code is going to do. Okay, you're going to first to find the location, and you're going to send keys. Send keys means typing something. You're typing something called Riaz. Then again you're finding the phone number. This one you're finding, and then you are writing some phone number, some random phone number you are passing. That is what you're going to see. So if I run this program, see how it do. See, it is going there, automating the whole application. It is going, it is launching the browser, maximizing window, writing Riaz and phone number, and then closing the browser. Can you able to see right? It is closing the browser. So this is a way that you do an automation, but for a basic understanding I have explained. So we will see the rest things day by day. Okay, day by day clearly. This is like we entered into the Selenium, but I will be explaining you every point from the scratch. No worries on that. From the basics we will be discussing from Python. Okay, who has no experience, they can get to it. Yeah, any doubts? Any doubts? So we are going to see a whole process, guys. This is a very basic introduction. We are going to see a complete end-to-end process. Okay, the whole process we are going to see. This is more than enough than anyone. Okay. So any questions? Any questions? Anyone? So from tomorrow, possibly we will start the process. Okay, we'll start our things. By that time, you will get to know what is happening. Because what is basically a demo? Demo is something that is making you clear about what we are going to teach and what you are able to understand, and the process that I am teaching. So by this time, you understood what is the syllabus and what is the way that we are going to see. Any doubts?
So the classes are going to start from tomorrow.
Yes, yes. From the syllabus, from the Python basics, we will be starting from tomorrow. We'll see.
Okay, is it the same timing?
Yeah, I will discuss about the timings. Timings is very particular because I have a class again. Now the class will start one more class. So the thing is like I just have to discuss on maybe half an hour. It will be either advanced or it will be advanced. So what I mean to say, it will be postponed or it will be after half an hour. I'll explain you. I'll tell you the comfort timings. Okay, once we are fine with the batch and all. So till that time, maybe 7:30 or 7:40 will start. 7:40 I'll be joining every day. 7:40 till 1 week. Then we will discuss whether we have to make it 8 or 8:30. Is that fine?
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah, because we will not make it more long. We'll make it to half an hour. Little difference, not much. Much delayed. Okay? Just a half an hour there, so that people who are in other countries they cannot affect much. Yeah. Any doubts? Any doubts? Yeah. Hi, Shalini. You have joined recently. I forgot to ask you. Hi, Shalini. How are you? Yeah, regarding the fees and all, you can please talk with them team. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to give a complete end-to-end exposure to the real time. Okay. To the things that you're already having experience on other languages. So I will try to relate, and you will get a really good understanding of what it is. So Shalini, she there? No, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Anything else? Is that fine? Is that fine, everyone?
Yes.
Is that fine? I hope you are getting right what we can teach and all. So is that fine? Is that fine? Any doubts? Any questions? So tomorrow I'll take up a complete. If you want, I'll take up. I'll start with the basics and all. Python. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, guys. So any doubts? Any doubts? No one? No. Anyone has any doubts or anything they want from my end? Thank you.
Thank you.